Yo, what is up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another video here today. So this is some really interesting news regarding Rekkles because Rekkles joined G2 Esports during the 2020 offseason after him and Fnatic officially parted ways, and during the 2021 season, G2 Esports did absolutely terrible. Yes, they finished first and second place during the regular seasons between the LEC 2021 Spring Split and Summer Split, but in the playoffs, they completely bombed, and they only actually won a single best of 5, which was against Schalke during the LEC 2021 Spring Split, and that also went to 5 games, and it was a very, very possible case they could have lost to Schalke. Now, this was a similar situation with Rekkles after the 2014 World Championship, where he left Fnatic to play on Elements during in 2015, then left Elements to rejoin Fnatic, and then he stayed on Fnatic for a very, very long time, and then similar situation, leaves Fnatic for G2 Esports, and then now possibly leaving G2 Esports. Now, where would Rekkles go? Because Fnatic have upset, so there's no actual reason why they would want to go back to Rekkles because, well, upset's better than Rekkles, and they have a better ADC. There's no point, right? But there's some news update to it right now. Rekkles and G2 Esports to part ways. Team holding tryouts for ADC replacement. Rekkles won't play for the European powerhouse next year. G2 Esports AD carry Rekkles will not return to the League of Legends team next year. Sources familiar with that decision told Esports. G2 is now in the process of selling his contract, which ends in November 2023. Over the past couple of weeks, G2 has informed its players, staff, and others close to its league squad about Rekkles' imminent departure, sources said. The relationship between G2 and Rekkles is frayed after a season that saw the European dynasty fail to earn a spot in the World Championship for the first time since it qualified for the continent's top league. Rekkles was set to attend the 2021 World Championship Group Draw show on September 22nd to represent G2 as a special guest, but at the last minute, and as a result of tense negotiations between the two, the ADC did not participate according to sources. Instead, G2 arranged for jungler Rekkles to replace him. With the relationship between Rekkles and G2 set to end, the org has been restrictive in terms of which other teams it's negotiating with. Team Vitality has expressed interest in the star ADC, but G2 isn't open to negotiating with the org at this time, according to sources. Rekkles' future in Pro League remains uncertain. His next team is undecided, and no option has been discarded yet. Even China's League Pro League could end up being his new home since there's mutual interest in this happening, according to sources. North America and Europe are still big possibilities for Rekkles, though. G2 is holding extensive ADC tryouts with several European regional league bot laners among the list, as reported by Esports on September 21st. But a possible replacement for Rekkles has not been chosen yet. G2 and Rekkles will part ways after a disappointing year in which they entered as the clear favorites in the LEC, but ended up without a world spot. Rekkles' move from Fnatic to G2 in November 2020 marked one of the largest transactions of that offseason when he replaced Perks, who moved across the Atlantic to Cloud9, but G2 didn't win the LEC in either split in 2021. The German organization is expected to undergo a major reconstructing this fall, with top laner Wonder, support Mickey X, and head coach Grab also likely leaving the team, as reported by Esports. G2 is expected to rebuild around mid laner Caps, who's now signed through the end of 2023, and Rekkles, its veteran jungler. So, as we already know, because I reported this news just a few days ago, like G2 has made Grabs, Mickey X, and Wonder available for buyout. And the only person locked in their roster is Caps and maybe Rekkles, because they reported that too, is that they're still trying to lock down Rekkles. So the only two players, hypothetically, they have is Caps, and Rekkles. Now, we also had a few bit of news a few days ago, which I'm still going to get to, which is Carzzy actually didn't officially renew his contract with Mad Lions yet. So it's very, very possible that G2 replaces Rekkles with Carzzy. Now, there's other ADCs they could possibly get, you know, in Europe potentially, like if it's on the table, you know, because most ADCs would want to join G2, but it just depends on who G2 want to go for. Now, there's been a little update to this rumor, actually, that I want to make sure I, you know, point out if I'm, you know, obviously telling you guys the news, which is this right here. So we have, so Pablo Suarez, a pretty good guy at getting the League of Legends news, actually. Let me copy and paste his name right here, because he posted this earlier on, and I wanted to talk about this as well. Don't worry, there's 2 other news videos, you know, that I wanted to actually point out. Let me actually go further down. I think this is right here, because I think I Am Jerem retweeted this, and that's how I saw it. Let me see. Okay. So Carlos had something to point out when it came to this, actually. So this was, okay, I will try again. No G2 player is interested in joining Vitality. Let me know if I can be more accurate. So it might not just be that G2 is not negotiating with Team Vitality. It's just that the players might not just want to go there, actually. It could very well, you know, just be that. But in terms of what G2 wants to do, and in terms of what they want to obviously, you know, rebuild on, it's just, you know, a crazy thing that, you have to, it's hard to say, because there's a lot of things I could say, but to pretty much sum it all up, you know, I think, you know, them making the 2021 World Championship would have actually salvaged their season, actually. Now, someone actually asked me, could Rekkles join TSM? You know, as per what Ocelot said on a Crackdown episode Thorn and Dom did with him, if the team offers enough money for him, they can get him. Remember, guys, Ocelot runs a business. He has to make money. So there's no point in selling a player if you're not going to get a good amount of money for him. I don't know why people like suddenly think you're just going to obviously just give away players for free and make less money. Like, that's fucking stupid, you know? If a team is trying to get a player, if an offer's on the table and it's not what Ocelot or G2 Esports wants, they don't have to accept it, though. You know? Rekkles is under contract. That's how it works, you know? He's trying to make the most money, and the other team is trying to get a good player. But when you are running a business, you have to make the most money. That is just how that works. Pablo also pointed out on Twitter, one of the main reasons of the team and the player parting ways is the fact that both Rekkles and Caps didn't want to play with Rekkles another year. According to multiple sources to the team, Caps is renewed, Rekkles is expected to renew, so Rekkles has no place there. I mean, like, let's be honest here. Like, I pointed this out last year as well. There's a reason why Caps left Fnatic. He specifically said, and I remember this because I think I have that video up on the channel too, where he talked about it, you know, on one of his Twitch streams. He claimed that players in Fnatic during the year he was last with them in 2018 didn't want to change their playstyle. They didn't want to, like, try anything new. Either he's talking about Broxa that year or Rekkles, because Soaz and Whipple were willing to play pretty much anything, right? He was playing anything himself, and Hylissang is just an animal that plays literally any support on this planet. So, who's he talking about? You know? I also said this last year as well. Caps and Rekkles, like, from what Caps had already previously mentioned and kind of alluded to, they did not get along that well. I don't know about that whole friendship bullshit people were talking about before, you know. If they don't want to play with Rekkles, because Rekkles seems to be like a hard, stern kind of dude, and Caps and Rekkles seem to be more like fun type-ish guys, it's very, very possible they do not vibe together with. And that's a new kid slang term about vibing together. It pretty much means, you know, if you don't synergize with someone, there's no point, right? If they clearly do not synergize together in and out of game, it's better right now to just get rid of Rekkles. G2 Esports could say, you know, it was a mistake getting Rekkles this year. I mean, it wasn't a mistake in hindsight because they grabbed one of the best ADCs in Europe, right? But looking at it now, it was a mistake grabbing a player that could not really work out with another player as per what the other player had already mentioned before, you know? So I'm not really too sure if this is all true. This is all just coming from other people, sources, and rumors and stuff like that. So we have to be very, very clear on what we're talking about here. But it's very, very possible because remember, Caps left Fnatic after he had been with them in 2017, left to go play for the rival org away from Rekkles, right? And then Rekkles joins G2 and it doesn't work out. Just making sure that's pointed out because that's too much of a coincidence there. So I think the atmosphere of G2 just didn't benefit Rekkles. And I know Ocelot said they could have worked with it, but certain personalities are just not going to be work with other people though. I mean, yes, in hindsight that could work, but it's like if Rekkles' personality, right, is not going to mesh with the players on the team, it's just not going to work out. Like, I don't want to play someone, sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't want to play anything or be around people that I just don't vibe with. Like, I don't have a good chemistry with, or it's like, it's just not fun. If the atmosphere is just not fun, there's just no reason for it to work out. Now, this could be a good thing for both G2 Esports and Rekkles, though, but I think it's very, very possible he doesn't play with, you know, G2 coming up in the 2022 season. So, that's how I see it personally. And then Ocelot, he doesn't even deny it. Look what he says. Holy fuck, does this mean Perks could make a comeback? Look, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. He's not even denying this. Like, he knows that's the fucking truth. I'm just saying, if Ocelot's not denying it, and you know he makes a lot of fucking jokes, you know, it's very, very possible. But, I mean, you know, take this all with a grain of salt. This is just reported. Now, I think this has some truth to it. And I mean, to be fair, I fully believe this, though. You know, as per what I've seen in the past versus what I'm seeing now, there's too many similarities for this all to just be a random coincidence, so. Also, Jankos and Caps not wanting to play with Rekkles another year reminds me of when the whole sneaky and they didn't want to play with me, you know, similar situation, right? But yeah, I will see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. Let me know what you guys think about Rekkles and G2 Esports parting ways. Who will be G2's AD carry for the 2022 season? Alright guys, I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace, have a good day. See you guys later. Deuces, I'm out this thing, man. Peace.